Disclaimer: I am not a spokesperson for the USPS, nor do I speak on their behalf. I am an active employee who works as a clerk. I have this channel based on educational purposes only.
What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Creole Barbie with USPS Vlogs. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Creole Barbie. I'm a current USPS employee who works as a clerk in letter automation. If it's your first time visiting my channel, welcome. What I do here is I make tons of videos pertaining to USPS, as well as showing you guys my postal journey while doing so. If you want to get more acquainted and familiar with what I do here on my channel, be sure to check out my USPS playlist, where I have a great deal of content showcasing my postal life as well as my postal experience. Now let's jump into the video, because I know you guys have been enjoying my story times. I am going to go ahead and share another story time with you guys. On today's story time, I'm going to talk to you guys about when matchmaking go wrong at the USPS. Now y'all, look, a while back I had did a video stating why I do not date at the USPS. I also gave a story time on the reason why I didn't date. However, I let some of my co-workers persuade me to do otherwise. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video right now. It's gonna be a juicy one, so y'all might want to get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready, pause it, get your snacks, come back and enjoy the ride. Let's go. Alright y'all, so the name of the person that I'm going to be mentioning will be Quavo. I was at work and I want to say I never did notice Quavo at all. Like, I would see Quavo around and whatnot, but nothing much to where it dawned on me that he actually liked me until this day. So I happened to be talking to one of my homeboys in passing. So after I had talked to my homeboy in passing, one of the girls that he knew came up to me and made a comment about my eyelashes, saying that my eyelashes looked like spider lashes. So me and her had talked about me not wearing eyelashes and whatnot and things like that. But I'm not going to go too much into it in this one. So after she finished insulting me about why I shouldn't be wearing eyelashes and how men like women who wear natural lashes and whatnot, I happened to wrap the conversation with her because I needed to go and get more equipment. So I was walking around looking for more equipment because literally there was no equipment on the floor whatsoever. I happened to walk up to Quavo's machine. Now keep in mind, y'all, this is the first interaction I ever had with Quavo. I didn't know Quavo or anything. I just walked up to him and politely asked if I could have his equipment, because it seemed like he wasn't using it and it was right there by the aisle. So I was like, can I have your equipment? And he looks at me and he says no, but I couldn't hear him because he had a face mask on. So I ended up getting close to Quavo and I was like, well, what did you say? And he was like, no, I need it. So I said, okay. So as I was walking back to my machine, I had noticed like the girl that was talking to me prior about my eyelashes, homegirls, I happened to catch eye contact with them. So I'm like, well, dang, are they talking about me? What's going on? I didn't care. I didn't care to find out. I just continued to start running my mail and said, okay, well, I'll eventually find some equipment later on. So as I'm running my mail, y'all, guess who walks up on me? Quavo. So Quavo walks up on me and was like, I be seeing you around a lot. What's your name? And I was like, oh, my name is Creole. And he was like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm Quavo. And I was like, okay, nice to meet you too. So he then took his hand out for me to shake it. Well, that was kind of awkward. So I just went ahead and shook his hand, you know, as a formal meet and greet. And he was like, well, I'm going to catch you around, okay? And I was like, yeah, I'll see you later. So at the time, I wasn't in automation full time. I was actually working in another department, which was the cancellation letter. So basically they have it set up like this. We come to automation, we work for 4 hours in automation, and then the other 4 hours will be in the stamp cancellation for the other 4 hours. I happened to walk over there, and at this time I was just working, but I have a homeboy over there, but we're gonna call him JBZ. So I was talking to JBZ, and I was like, JBZ, and he was like, what's up, Creole? And I was like, JBZ, let me tell you what happened to me today. I went ahead and told JBZ the whole spiel about the guy that I met, and he was like, one of these people where he wants me to have somebody. He feels like I need to be in some type of relationship. He want to see me with kids one day and whatnot. Now, before y'all start turning the wheels in y'all head thinking Jay Beezy was probably scoping me out for himself, wrong. Jay Beezy is actually married. So we're always having like these relationship talks. So that was like music to Jay Beezy's ears, hearing that some guy walks up to me, and Jay Beezy wanted to see if he was really interested or why the guy would be walking up to me. So Jay Beezy tells me, I'm going to write your phone number down and give it to him. And I'm like, no, you're not. And he was like, yes, I am. And I said, Jay Beezy, quit playing. No, you're not. And he was like, look, you ain't going to never find nobody if you keep on running from men. Eventually, you're going to have to put yourself out there as an available woman. And I'm like, Jay Beezy, not you trying to give me advice on how I can get snatched up. I was like, Jay Beezy, but I don't really do that on the job. Like, I don't want to deal with nobody at the post office. And that's how I really felt. Like, I feel like it's a drama pool. It's a rumor mill. Things get messy. I just cannot poop where I eat. That was always my mentality. Never poop where you eat. Now keep in mind, yes, in the past, when I was younger, I had situations where I dated people on the job. But right now, at the post office, nobody knows me in that type of matter to be dating anybody at the post office. Only thing they know about me is that I keep to myself and I do my job. That's it. And that's how I wanted to keep it. But Jay Beezy was like, you overthinking it. I think it's time for you to step out your comfort zone. You never know. He could be the one for you. So I said, okay, Jay Beezy, if you feel like this might be a beginning of something for me, then I'm gonna let you do what you gotta do, Jay Beezy. Whatever. So he was like, sit back. He said, sit back and watch the man work. I said, okay, Jay Beezy, we'll get to working. So Jay Beezy takes my phone number over to Quavo. Now, keep in mind, I was not there when that happened, but Jay Beezy come back with a big smile on his face. And I'm like, Jay Beezy, what happened? What did you do? And he was like, so I just went ahead and gave him your phone number. But before I did that, I wanted to see where his head was at. So I started conversating with him and seeing exactly what he thought about you. I said, no, you didn't. And he was like, yeah, I did. I pretty much was like, you just met my homegirl Creole? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, well, why you double back over there on her? Do you like her or something? And he was like, oh, well, you know, she's cute and whatnot, but I don't know too much about her. It's my first time meeting her. She got a dude or something? Are you her dude? And he was like, no, I'm not her dude, but here's her phone number if you really want to get to know her. And he was like, bet that up, took the phone number and whatnot. So in the middle of me and Jay Beezy conversating, Jay Beezy begins to tell me, but I left this part out, Creole. And I'm like, what, Beezy? And he was like, don't get mad at me, but he's about to be on his way over here to our department. I was like, boy, I'ma kick your behind. And he was like, look, chill out, act normal, catch a vibe. You know, you'll never know until you catch a vibe and see what kind of person he is. But he was like, from talking to him, dude seemed really cool. He real laid back. In the middle of me talking to Jay Beezy and we're still conversating, guess who walks over? Didn't take long because Jay Beezy literally just got back and we were talking and then he pushes up and I'm like, oh my God, aren't you supposed to be working? Like literally, how you gonna leave your partner for that long just to conversate with me? He comes over and he begins to make himself comfortable at my machine. I was like cute that day, y'all. If I can find a picture of myself and insert it, I will. Matter of fact, I do have a picture of myself on that day. I'm going to insert that picture and then y'all can kind of see exactly, you know, how I was looking. I was really cute that day. But anyway, he makes himself comfortable. I had like, y'all know those those tubs where the magazines come in. A lot of times people turn them upside down and they sit on them. I had about 3 or 4 of them to make my seat a little bit higher. So when I got tired of sweeping that mail and dropping it on the line, I would, make my way over there and sit and chill. So Quavo happened to come over there, sit on my homemade chair I had. He comes over and he was like, yeah, so I see you got people passing me your phone number. And I was like, no, that is not what you think. And he was like, yeah, that's what it is. And he was like, I know you feeling me and it's okay because I was feeling you too. I'm like, what? You was feeling me? And he was like, man, quit playing. I've been watching you for a while. Why you think I always would stare at you in the Plan 5 meeting? That I could have sworn that was going on, but I don't like to make assumptions on things. I'm like, well, maybe he think that I favor somebody. Maybe I look familiar or something like that. I don't always jump the gun and think, oh, a person's interested in you because they're staring at you. So I was like, yeah, I was peeping that. And he was like, yeah, I would see you make eye contact and hurry up and look away. I was like, maybe because that was awkward as hell, Quavo, that you were actually staring at me. So we were conversating and he was like, how long you gonna be working tonight? And I was like, well, I leave here at 10 o'clock, but over in my department, I like to do overtime. More than likely, I'll be here till midnight. So he was like, well, I'm gonna leave at 10 o'clock. Quavo never did like doing overtime at all because he was full-time in automation over there. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So what you got up for the night? And he was like, nothing, just chilling, maybe going home, playing the game. So then we began to talk or whatever. He asked me if I had any kids. I said no. I asked him, did he have kids? He said he had kids. I asked him how many. He was like, well, I have this many. And I was like, oh, wow. Well, how old are you? 26. And I was like, boy, do you even know how old I am? Like, how old? And I was like, 30. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, no, you are way too young. And he was like, man, quit playing. Age ain't nothing but a number. But he was like, for real though, I thought you were like 25, 26. Like, no, I got little siblings your age. But that didn't stop Quavo for being consistent and really wanting to get to know me. So I said, okay, whatever, I'll entertain you. I'll catch a vibe and see what's up. We talked, and when I tell y'all, I look up, Quavo has been at my machine now for an hour. And I am surprised that the supervisor in automation did not page Quavo. Because honestly, when I work in automation, I can't be gone that long. They will quickly come on the intercom and be like, Creole, back to 15. So for him to be gone that long, I was like, oh, y'all got me messed up. So I told him, I was like, well, I mean, are you gonna go back to your machine and we can finish this conversation another time? And he was like, oh no, I'm good. And my partner over there, he cool, he run the mail. And I was like, okay, it ain't me. I'm where I'm supposed to be, whatever. So he began to start helping me with the letter trays. And I'm like, what, Quavo? So I would like split the bins over and put the mail into the letter trays and drop it on the line. Before you know it, baby, I had Quavo over there putting that mail in them bins and dropping it on the line for me. I was like, boy, show out then, Quavo. Look at Quavo. Everything was good. He then said after 2 hours of being over there, well, I'm gonna go back over there now, just check on him to make sure he good, but I'm finna text you. So I said, okay. So he texted me and was like, this Quavo. And I was like, what's up, Quavo? And he was like, well, I'm happy that you finally gave me your number. I never thought that we would meet like this. Honestly, I never thought you would even conversate with me. That's why I never did approach you because I didn't know how you would take it. But it seemed like your homeboy was so persistent on us talking that he forwarded your number over to me, which I'm glad he did. But I really want to get to know you more. So even though I know you working late tonight, I'm gonna call or text you when I get off work. So he did that. Literally, when he got off at 10, I want to say it was maybe around 10:30, 11. It was like, what you doing? And I was like, nothing, still at work, chilling and whatnot. And we were conversating back and forth through texts and stuff like that. I think he had called me a couple times. But then he was like, well, what you doing when you get off? I was like, shit, when it's midnight, baby, taking a shower, eating, go home. That's all I can do. So at the time, I want to say Quavo had a weekend off and maybe a weekday. I'm not sure. I think he had Friday, Saturday off. if I'm not mistaken. And I was off Sunday, Monday. He was like, you know, Saturday when you go to work, don't do no overtime. I really want to link with you. And I was like, all right, bet, Quavo. So the first time we were supposed to link, I stood him up. I was kind of nervous and I was like, you know what? I really don't want to do this. I didn't want to run him away either by keep on standing a person up. You know, when you stand people up, eventually they'll give up, move somewhere else. And even though that probably would have been a good thing, I don't know. I was curious to know more too at this point. I'm like, forget it. I'm all in anyway. I might as well see what it is. The second time I had came back to work on that Monday and he was like, so I see you stood me up last weekend. And I was like, my bad, Quavo. I just got busy and I didn't have time to respond back to your text. And he was like, yeah, I bet. So he was like, I tell you what are you doing later on tonight? You gonna do overtime? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do overtime tonight. I think I'm gonna just use this as a chill night. It was my 6th day. So I was like, I'll just probably work 8 hours and then go ahead and leave. So he was like, all right, bet. Let's link after work. All right, now maybe I shouldn't have done that, but honestly, when you getting to know somebody, you don't want to just do anything too fancy. Like, I don't want to go have coffee. I don't want you to spend your money just yet. I really want to see, are you somebody that I can catch a vibe with? If you are, then maybe I'll let you take me out later. But at this point, I need to understand you more and what you're about. So he was like, well, I'm going to text you my address. I was like, yeah, baby, because you know, I don't do people I don't know at my house. Like, I'm a stickler on that. I do not give people my address where I stay at, because when it goes bad, it can go very, very bad. And one thing I don't want is anyone stalking me while I'm at home. Super dangerous. And you just don't know where people's mind is at, especially when things don't go their way. I'm getting home. I'm showering because I know I have to go meet Quavo later. I take a shower. Been working all day, waiting. I want to be fresh. I want to be smelling good, and also it allows him a chance to see how I really look outside them work clothes. I get all dressed up, cute. I mean, have my matching outfit on, got the matching shoes, and you always gotta have your bag to match your shoes. Definitely that. At least that's my rule. That's how I get down. You know what I'm saying? Cute outfit. I was looking cute. Everything was nice. So I called Quavo and was like, all right, send me the address now. I'm ready. He sends me the address. He was like, I'm surprised you wouldn't fake it. And I'm like, no. He said, well, I'm at my bro house right now, but he don't live far from me. But I am going to go back home when I know you get close. I said, okay, bet. Literally, I got close. I called him and said, well, I'm only like 10 minutes away. He made his way back there and he met me there before I got there. So, what kind of car you in? I don't know what type of car you drive. I was like, well, you'll see me when I get there. So I told him the type of car I had, and he was out there standing waiting on me. So then we began to walk into his apartment and he was like, you want something to drink? You hungry? I was like, no, I'm not hungry. And yeah, I'll take a water. So he gives me a bottle of water and we were just sitting there talking and vibing. He was like, you want to watch a movie? And normally, if I probably would have known him under different circumstances, I would have been open to watch a movie. But at this point, I just really wanted to talk. I wanted to see exactly who you are. So we were just talking and talking. And then before you know it, y'all, why Quavo make a move on me? And I was like, wait. Honey, this is not what's going on here. And he was like, but come on, like, it's going to be good. And I said, no, I'm not here for that. I'm not ready for that. You know, this is not something that I want to do. So he was like, but why you come then? I said, I came to catch a vibe, to understand who you were and to get to know you. You invited me over and out, but you didn't say, oh, I wanted to come and smash, which I should have known because of the age. So he was like, all right, well, you ain't got to do it. So then we start talking again. And, you know, things kind of calmed down. And before you know it, he was back at it again. This time it got a little more aggressive with trying to have me touch places that I shouldn't be touching, especially on the first date. So at this point, I was like, Quavo, you know what? I'm really getting uncomfortable. I think it's best for me to leave now. I didn't think you would be on this type of time. You know, you seem to be on a different type of time than what I really thought. So I think it's time for me to go. Y'all, if y'all hear the lightning, literally it's the thunderstorm going on outside right now. And I hope my lights don't get cut off before this video ends. But anyway, he was like, all right. He seemed cool about it. He seemed cool about it, right? So the next day I'm at work, I'm in my machine, I'm just doing the usual stuff. I hadn't seen JBZ yet to tell him how the night went. That was terribly horrible. I see Quavo. Keep in mind, normally when Quavo would see me after we started conversating, he would speak to me, come up there and talk to me and whatnot. But this time, he started keeping his distance from me. Like, Quavo started giving me cold shoulders. When I walked up to him in the break room to try to talk to him, he just pretty much dismissed me and acted like I wasn't there, like I was a nobody. It got to the point to where I guess he couldn't even stand being in my presence anymore. He would start taking his breaks outside in his car. Like, it got pretty bad between Quavo and I. So JBZ happened to come over and ask me, how was the night? And I was like, the night went horrible. I told JBZ everything. And I was like, see, this is why I told you. This is why I do not like dating people at the post office. Because when it goes bad, it goes sour. And now, what if people start getting in my business? Because they used to see me over there talking to him. And he would be at my machine 2 hours talking to me and being nice and stuff like that. Now they see that we're no longer talking and things may started getting messy, and it did, because people would ask me like, I used to see Quavo talk to you all the time. What happened? Were y'all talking? What you and Quavo had going on? He used to be all smiley around you. Or, I forgot to ask you, girl, are you talking to Quavo? It would be stuff like that. At that point, it just got like out of control. It got to the point where Quavo started like pretty much being kind of disrespectful towards me, really mean and nasty towards me. So at this point, I just pretty much kept my distance from Quavo. I wouldn't say anything to Quavo. I wouldn't speak to Quavo. I would let Quavo be held alone. Just a lesson from the wise. Be careful who y'all entertain. And it doesn't even have to be at the post office or work period. Just in general, because if people don't vocalize exactly what their intentions are with you, it can get way out of hand. It can get messy. Feelings can get hurt, and it could be dangerous. Like, I think about it all the time. What if something bad would have happened that night and he didn't take no for no? Now I'll be putting myself in a dangerous situation. So you guys, if y'all like the story time, give it a thumbs up. Comment below on how y'all truly feel about dating at the USPS or just at any job in general. Give me some comments below, because I have noticed, and I'm going to do a reaction video to this, where some people actually found love at the post office. They really did. And if that was the case, kudos to you guys. Congratulations. I wish you nothing but the best of true blessings and eternal, everlasting love. Thank you for watching my video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for future content and uploads. If you want to hear some more story times about my craziness at the USPS, y'all let me know what y'all want to know next. In the meantime, I'm out. Now, let me turn this camera off before the thunderstorm comes.